Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. Wife got pregnant from my own younger brother. Throw away because I myself have been a commenter here and have plenty of friends and family in my original ID. I'm 39M, been married to my wife 36F for 15 years. I also have a son 13. My family consists of mom 58, dad 62, sister 30 and younger brother 22. Last year, I found my wife crying in our bedroom. I consoled her and she told me she's pregnant. I was elated and explained to her that's the great news. The color of her face changed and she tells me it is and leaves the room. It was weird. During that time, I also found out about excessive time spent on the phone. I took care of her alone, did the cooking and cleaning alone because COVID situation was high so no one could come in here. She gave birth to a healthy baby girl. She's just like her mother, adorable. Fast forward to last month and this month, my brother used to frequently visit us, which I thought was fine until it got every day, but hey, he's my baby brother. This month, we went to our parents to stay there for 2 weeks. I saw my wife getting awkwardly close to my brother. I was the primary breadwinner of both families. My father owned a few shops which were under my direct control. I am an investment banker and apart from this, we also have several houses that we rented out. So I stayed busy most of the time, but whenever I came home, I saw my wife and brother spending time together, which was weird considering she was close to my sister before. I also see my sister spending more time with me. I get the sense something is up and my sister wants to tell me something. I ask her several times but she assures me everything's alright. Last week, my father asked me to spend some time with him fishing. Just me and him. I agreed, during which he tells me stories about fish and how he spent his time with his father here. He goes on to praise me for how good a son I was and he's proud of me. I sense there's a bigger picture. He also tells me that he's disappointed in my brother because he has no goals set. He doesn't work, does pot, smokes and has an alcohol addiction. My father wasn't very close to my younger brother, but my mom was. When we were leaving, he tells me he has to go somewhere, gives me the fishing kit and a small paper and leaves, telling me I should open the paper after he has left. When I open the paper, my entire world turns upside down. It was a DNA test. I'm not the father to my daughter. I rushed to my family home, everyone was there, and confronted my wife and brother. They both accept it and apologized to me, telling it was a mistake. I further find out it has been going on for a year and they both love each other. Wife consoles me saying that she can't change what happened and she will always be sorry for me. I'm a perfect husband, father, son, but I couldn't be a good lover because I spend excessive time outside. Mind you people, I take her to vacation twice a year, date nights once or twice a month, we get intimate twice or thrice a week. Always asked her if she was alright. She could have told me once, she could have talked. My sister chimes in and tells me she knew and she couldn't bring herself to tell me. Hearing of the commotion, my mum comes with the baby. She explains to me that she can't change the outcome. My wife and brother already have a baby together, my son grew attached to it. I should accept it and move on. I was the older brother and I should forgive them. I called her out and told her how my own family betrayed me like that. I told my wife, I don't need a wife for whom I have to compete with other men despite her being my wife. Told her she will get the divorce papers and told my backstabbing brother that I always stood up for him and now he is the one to backstab me, and left this place. My phone was blowing up. My father told me he is with me but he can't say anything openly due to my mother. He tells me he's sorry for being a bad father. Also told me my mom knew about the affair, she just didn't speak about it. I told him, I don't care. I don't need a family that stabs me in the back and he can gladly cut me off from the family after divorce. I haven't told her family yet. My STBXW calls me every day 100+ times, texts me and my son misses me. My brother hasn't reached out to me yet. My sister apologized to me, telling me she should have but she couldn't be a good sister and that I am the role model for her. She is always proud to have me. I haven't replied to them at all. My mother called me to tell me we all make mistakes and we can be a family again if I decide to forgive. She hinted that my children need a father figure and if I can't be there, there's my brother to take care of my family. Told me the court won't give me custody and if she stands up for them things might go wrong for me. That infuriated me and I blocked her. Haven't talked to any of them the past 2 days. Divorce can be expensive here but it is what it is. I haven't told anyone about this. Haven't slept well, can't eat anything. I feel like I've lost my reason to live. In just a week, I've lost everything. My family, my wife and kids, my dignity, everything. I feel like dying because there is no purpose to my life, at least now. Edit, I talked to the lawyer. I just have to file IN. Lawyer said I'd have to pay spousal support. Getting primary custody will be hard. About the establishment of a parent from my daughter, I love her, even though she's not my daughter, it will take a long time to get it finalized. Divorce here is expensive. I'm looking at around $900 a month as spousal support for her and daughter, 50-50 custody of my son and half the asset. I also noticed I wrote a DNA test, sorry it was the paternity test of my daughter and brother. It confirmed 99%. Yes, my brother was 7 when me and my wife got married. I know it's a disgusting fact. Update, wife got pregnant from my own younger brother. This is a small update to my situation. I thought things would be better with time. But it instead turned worse. To anyone wondering, see my earlier post. I left the house after finding out and got my finances in order, met lawyers and started divorce proceedings. I got the papers this Friday. Wife came over. We had a talk. She told me she doesn't want a divorce for our son. She apologized and acknowledged her fault. I tell her I want a divorce regardless and give her the papers. She had the audacity to initiate sex like oh I was gonna give in. I told her to leave after that. This Saturday, my sister who lives in Netherlands, came here for vacation, left early after this SHT show, verbally destroying my wife and mother. She called me and we had a talk. She apologized on her part. She was put in a conflicted position as mom begged her not to tell me. She told me mom was worried about my health and how I would react. Also that my younger brother coerced mom into doing this. Things got a lot clearer after that, but regardless it doesn't make me feel any better. Many of you knocked me saying this is fake. I hope it was. You can choose to believe it actually happened and my life is a ducking shit show right now in where I can't do anything. It's breaking apart. Everything that I held dear. Or ignore it. Whatever. I also met my son, spending the day with him on Saturday, taking him to a gaming zone that's really popular in here. I told him what I planned. He tells me he knows. My mom weeps every day, his mom, my wife, she's just lost. She doesn't know what to do, conflicted. I found out later, another reason, my younger brother just smokes pot and drinks alcohol. Doesn't takes up his responsibilities. Sister and I already agreed we are taking our names off from the family and we do not want any of the inheritance. I'm going to cut off myself from the family, move to a different country. My sister already told me she can help if I choose to move to the Netherlands. That might be my destination now after a year of divorce. It isn't easy. Days are long and hard, especially when you think about the incident. I've lost count of how many times I've threw up. My BP is tremendously low as well as my sugar levels. Yesterday afternoon, my father called and told me mom's in the hospital. She suffered a bad stroke and collapsed on the table during lunch. Her condition isn't very great. Dad told me she wants to meet me, and the doctor told us to pray. Her condition isn't good enough to get her discharged. Wife is handling everything for now. My brother is just visiting for a few hours and leaving. My newborn daughter is with wife in the hospital along with my son and dad. Dad told me this might be it. He wants me to visit it. I've told my sister. She's conflicted about it. I'm being honest. Part of me wants to visit her, but the majority part doesn't. She's my mother no matter what, but she chose to betray me. She chose to hurt me. She chose to support my wife instead of me. It wasn't the cheating that was bothering me, it wasn't that my wife slept with my brother and chose him over me. It was all the betrayals that my family did. It was all that everyone knew and no one chose to tell me. It was that my own mother prioritized her other son, and threatened me to cut me off from the family. Now suddenly she's in the hospital and she wants to meet me? I'm not at all doing great or happy regarding this. I think of suicide every day. Therapists suck. They don't do anything else other than vent or actually help you. They're a waste of money. Many of my relatives visited mom in the hospital. Word of my wife's affair got out to a few close relatives. My favorite uncle absolutely destroyed her right in the hospital by calling her and my brother the most vile things. Dad told me this. It took my teenage son to get my uncle into senses and regain calmness. It's entirely a SHT show. I've talked to a few friends, they're advising me to divorce, move on, shift to another country and settle down with someone else. I don't know anything. I don't have any plans right now, I just can't. I can't plan any ducking thing. I've talked to my lawyer too. He told me I can get my share of inheritance if my mother didn't create a will. I can't get it if I resign my inheritance or if she cuts me off. Nothing of that sort happened. I don't have any interest in inheritance, money, or family. I just want my son so I can escape this god-forsaken family and just be sane. As for paternity, it's going to be tougher than divorce itself. Cheating isn't a deal breaker or a trump card in most countries. But being a Zam is, and it can destroy you in many ways. However, if I can leave my inheritance share, it might give me an upper hand and I might not have to pay spousal support. But it all depends on mutual agreement. I found out I can also lodge a complaint in my country against an affair partner, which in this case is my brother. As my son is a minor, I can also get a restraining order against my wife and my brother for my son because the use of alcohol, drugs is frowned upon in my country. So I do have some hope. But currently, I'm torn between my mother's condition. I can't believe what 3 weeks can do to you. It honestly is the lowest point of my life. The only thing that's holding me back is my son. More like a vent and a confession, beat my brother brutally because he destroyed my family. Read my post history if you haven't. All summed up to my wife and brother having an affair, producing a child and having me raise it if I hadn't found it out already. I'm in the process of being divorced. I've also filed multiple reports against my brother of vandalism, drugs and abuse, and also filing a case against him for having an affair with my wife. You can do it in here. So overall I'm looking at 2 years of jail time for him, and this means he won't be able to travel in respected or well-developed countries, get a job at a renowned firm and so. But the kicker was I wasn't satisfied by it. He turned my mother against me. It was something which broke my family and I needed revenge. 4 days before he got arrested he went to hiding. I found him out and beat the SHT out of him. Didn't do much damage to him because despite what happened, he was still my little brother. He ended up in the hospital and knew damn well he couldn't file a complaint against me. I have high connections and if he tried to reach out to police, he would have been arrested anyway. He is still in hospital from my beating and apparently was found out by police. He is taken into custody. My sister and I already withdrew from our property and he can have it entirely for all we care. He's an asshole who lived in the shadows of me and my father before backstabbing me. I have no regrets. He messed with my family and essentially we are getting divorced because of him. My dreams, hard work, family has been shattered and it doesn't bring me any solace. I don't have any regrets. The only one is I can't turn back time to live those happy memories again, but who am I to complain? To the woman who conquered my heart. Strangers. I'm sorry if I wasn't able to be a good lover and a good husband to you before. At some point of time, our life got so entangled with issues I lost my way in it. I know people say I'm a great son, a great father, a great husband, but I always ask myself if I was a great lover. If I was, it wouldn't have pushed you to the arms of another man. This year it's going to be the last we celebrate New Year's as a family. Little did we know it was going to be the last of every holiday we spent together. A more than a decade-long marriage ending with you and me parting ways, with our son looking up at us as if saying don't divorce, but we both know it's for the best. I need to heal from betrayal and scars given by you, and you need to heal from yourself. You were undoubtedly the best thing that happened to you, and yes, I'm still angry, I'm still mad, I'm weeping the ending of my marriage, but I still respect you. I don't know about love. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Some days are hard, some are just weird. I'm having a tremendous headache with doctor already warning me to get my blood pressure under control, otherwise I might suffer a massive stroke any ducking time, like right now. But it doesn't bother me anymore. Maybe I'm already dead inside. But the one thing that bothers me is you. I know you're sad. I know you're facing issues too. I know you miss your parents, and you know they hate you for what you did. I know that you hate yourself for lying to me that our daughter is mine while it's not, but don't be. You're a mother, you're someone the children are gonna look up to. 10 years later we might be the most flexible co-parents ever. Maybe you'll find someone who will love you more than I do/did, and maybe you'll love him too. Maybe the current path is best for everyone and us. Today our son is really happy. But both of us know he's still sad over the divorce thing, but he isn't trying to make it awkward for us because he knows it'll hurt us. He's longing to light up the fireworks and click thousands of pictures because he doesn't want to miss a moment of us spending the last few months as a family until the divorce is final. One more thing. I'm a horrible person for beating up my brother because of what he did. But do I have any regrets? No. He stabbed me in my back when I was the one to look after him in his time of need. A man may forget the deepest trauma, but he can't never forget a brutal stab in the back. I know you feel for him. You still have feelings for him. You're in a position where you love us both. I'm not the person to ask you to choose because I know you feel guilty for what you did. However, I do hope you can hold it longer till we are divorced and I'm out of the picture. You can make love to him and marry him to be in your dream life, my love. Thank you for all the memories, that's all I can say right now. Story of my life. Event and reflections. I was born in 1981, an era of development but of rurality, mess, and unorganized too. My country was formed just 10 years before my birth. My father was a small officer and my mother was the daughter of a landlord. They got married, and because our lands were in the busiest and wealthiest place in the country, our pockets filled up very quickly. I am the oldest son in the family. Both sides of the family. I set the shining beacon because I've studied and got admirable grades, something that was uncommon in the 90s. I was set as an example for my younger cousins and siblings. Always loved by everyone but not by the one whom I want. In 1997, when I was 16, then, met a girl and fell for her. She was pretty, and over time, we both became so into each other. In 1999, she suddenly stopped coming to classes. No one knows about her or where she went. A week goes by and her best friend hands me a letter addressed to me. There she tells me she is shifting to the States with her family. Will be living there. She thanked me for our times and that she loved me now. After 22 years, she is happily married with 3 kids in the US. We talked recently several months ago, then after a few years, I landed up in a desk job that pays well. I was never into a desk job, but think about it. I was starting my career and the first job I landed paid me decently enough, and it didn't require tons of work too. It was good. Over the following years, I built buildings, bought stocks, and invested money which massively helped us grow. Now we own 14 apartment buildings in total in the city. 4 of them are mine, 10 of them are under my mom's name, several shops and markets, while having good connections with politicians and local sit-ups. We are well off. But this is one of the facts that spoiled my family even further. My brother was a young and innocent kid. spoilt by my mom's backing, excessive use of money, and lack of discipline. He was the nasty kid in the back whose parents would throw money at and he wouldn't give a darn. I tried to talk to my mom but to no avail. He was my brother. I had a part playing it in there too. 2006, my mom told me she liked a girl. They were from a decent family, we were stable, I earned well, dad was retired. I thought, why not? We got married. Over the years our bond grew stronger. She loved my family as her own. As did my family loved her as a daughter. She blessed me with a son and I've never loved her more. Everyone loved my son, he is the apple of my mom's eye. Then in 2012, my sister left for the Netherlands. Her journey was struggling too. She now owns her housing in the Netherlands, a citizenship, and also applied for a green card. But as time went on, my brother got spoiled even more. He became the backlash of the family. We received complaints that he used to do drugs, do alcohol, mom used to shout at her and I used to shout at mom because she spoiled him. I used to shout at him but to no avail. Over the years it only got worse. One time he got arrested and I had to go out and talk to officers to get him out. As my family was well respected and I was well known, they didn't push the matters. During this time I get busy with my work too. It was the years we were no longer young, but middle-aged. We were on our steps to grow into our mom and dad, the very person we used to look up. We had to, that's the cycle of life. Excitement of life and marriage turned bland, there was work, stress, I wasn't as attracted to my wife anymore. My libido dropped. Maybe it was due to stress but it did. 2 years later after this, it opened up a world of affair between my wife and my brother which resulted in her pregnancy with our daughter. Biologically she isn't mine, but I can't see her getting away from me. I found this out and shit show drops. This storm destroys my whole family. My sister who returned from the Netherlands returns after this, cutting off contact from our whole family. My wife was devastated after this impact but she knew it would happen sooner or later. My mom suffered a stroke, a bad one. My dad has been living dead for a while, the home he built was destroyed. It hurt my son too. He was devastated when he saw what had occurred. Though he does not know the entire thing, he knows of divorce and he's been very understanding about it. I'm proud of him. My wife is trying to reconstruct our marriage but she already has signed the divorce papers as did I and we are set to get divorced by next month. She would receive 20% of my income as spousal and child support for 3 years child support until our daughter turns 18, and she won't receive any assets as it belonged to me before marriage. She accepted all these terms. I'm to be the legal guardian until our son reaches 17 legal age, and she is to be the guardian of our daughter until her puberty and then I will be her legal guardian until 18. My brother is currently in jail, he's recovered from the beatings but still needs rest. He received a 1-year sentence because of drugs, and having an affair with my wife. I honestly do not feel slightly good about this. Have talked to my dad, her father, her mother and they all told me it's entirely my decision if I want to try again with her within a few years or not. I haven't talked to her. But tell you what, seeing the demise of your marriage is one of the worst things to happen. I love her but I know this is the way. I'm going to take my son Netherlands. I don't need any application or permission from my soon-to-be ex-wife as I'm the legal guardian. So this is all for update. My mom has already been trying to build a better bond with me. I've hung out with my favorite uncle. He told me to give it another shot if I can. People make mistakes and what she did was unforgivable. This won't change a thing, this will be a punishment for her but even so. Give her space and time to change, we both need it. Mom had been trying to ask me to get married again but I didn't talk to her in this regard. I've tendered my resignation. I think it's time to put an end to this. Life can be frustrating sometimes. I've been wanting to visit Mecca, holy place for us, with my family. That family seems to be my son and me now only. I don't want to take anyone else, and then after a few years, leave for the Netherlands once paperwork has been finalized. I can't just leave because I have so much here, I need to end it properly. This was maybe to get it out of my chest. I don't know if it makes much sense. Things have been rougher. This is unorganized, so I'm sorry for that. To anyone who reaches this far, thank you for reading this. It's the end. Got divorced today. Cheers. Update. I have a lot to say. I'm currently feeling nauseous, my hands shaking as I type this out. I have a lot to say but I can't. Today's Sunday. A good day. Today's the day my marriage finally ended. Our divorce was finalized today at the first hour, ending after nearly 16 years together. There's mixed feelings inside me. Part of me is glad and part of me is down. I loved that woman. She was the second love of my life. She destroyed me. I have nothing to say. To give you an update, our custody arrangement is something like this. I'm the legal guardian of my son till he's 20. She's the legal guardian of our daughter till she reaches puberty. After that, till her marriage, I'm the legal guardian of her. My daughter will spend these few years with her as she's really just 10 months old. But I can visit her whenever I want to. In my country the birth certificate is out after a child is a year old. So I have yet to sign for it and I will sign. She's my daughter. I'll have to pay spousal support for her for 3 years. Child support for until my kids are 18. I'm looking at 20% of my income or around $1,000 if I put it all together correctly. Note, we are from Asia, and 1k USD is worth a lot here. I don't have to pay alimony, just the amount known as Deen Ma, or type of dowry but not dowry. I didn't have to split assets as infidelity is a big factor here, but I offered her one of my apartments not for her but for my daughter. I want my kids to grow up in a nice environment, and although what she did was wrong, I can't put them in danger, which is why I agreed to transfer one of my apartment to her name. So at the very least they won't have to worry about housing. Her side of the family disowned her completely, so she will be living all alone, but her mom will be reaching out and her sisters will help her out in taking care of my daughter. My ex-wife talked to me after our divorce. I could clearly see she didn't sleep. She thanked me for all these years together. Asked my forgiveness, and this time, I told her I did. We both wished each other best of luck and ended things. I know she was sad and heartbroken. I was too. It was probably for the best. I resigned from my job with the amount of property my mom inherited. The job wasn't necessary in the first place. I'm going to take a few months off now. When I signed the finalized papers, it was as if a huge burden just left my body. I'll be seeing my mom in a few hours and spend the night at my house. I remember I said that I won't try dating, and my youth has passed. I'm turning 40 this year. Normally 40 is a time where you begin to plan for your retirement and pave the roads for your kids, the new generation. But it feels like I'm going to restart at 40. I met a cousin of one of my friends on New Year's. She's 29. I was quite impressed with her. She's just ideal. Turns out she was the therapist I was looking for all along, and I can't express it. I saw her again on 14th Jan at a festival. It ended up with us drunk and in bed. I'm not proud of that, I still feel guilty about it. We became friends. I found out she was to get engaged, but her boyfriend died. It took 7 years for her to let go of grief. She tried dating in between, but it wasn't good. My wife knows of her. I don't know how she feels about her. We haven't slept or communicated about us recently. I never even asked her how she felt. It's all a mess. It's been 4 months, and within this time period, a lot has changed. My life changed. My son grew up and I'm proud of him. I mentioned before that I originally had plans to visit the Netherlands. But I'm ditching it. This is the place I was born, my forefathers were born and buried. My legacy lies here. I want my sons and their sons to know about our history and legacy, and I certainly don't see how I can achieve that in the Netherlands. My girlfriend slash therapist slash that girl I was talking about asked to visit, but I declined her offer. Tonight it's just going to be me. I bought Jack Daniels. I don't know what lies ahead down the road. I don't feel better or worse. I'm indifferent. I'm just nauseous and I want a good sleep. I wish it was all a dream and I could forget it. I don't know if I would ever have a good relationship with my brother again, or my mom, or dad, or even my ex-wife. Things would never be the same again. I respect her as the mother of my kids. I will try to be there for her. My ex Phil reached out to me. He told me he's sorry he couldn't be a good father to ensure her daughter's upbringing. Few things in life are meant to be that way. We spent time, money and effort, and at the end, it isn't even our decision or choice that matters. Such are the sacrifices of both men and women. I admire people. I admire you guys who went through this traumatic period of life. Up until yesterday, there was a constant thought in my head if I made the right decision to divorce. That thought is still in my head. I don't know if I made the right choice. I don't know if I'd ever get over this betrayal. I don't know if I can start over. But for tonight, it's me. My son is with my mom. He will be staying there for the night. This is it, folks. This is it. Cheers to the road ahead. To the life ahead. Cheers to the pain and cheers to the people that continuously reached out to me. Thank you all. I'm sorry this happened to you. Take some time to analyze your feelings. At the end of the day, she would not have stopped cheating, even if she told you she had. You were kind, generous, and even your ex-wife saw that. In 1 year from now, your pain will be far less. In 2 years, you will be enjoying your family, in whatever form that takes, just you and your son, or you and a new family. Infidelity never works. It's a crime of entitlement, a lack of empathy, putting their own wants over their family's needs. Unfaithful people make crappy partners. It gets better. Take good care of yourself. You're right about that, my friend. I hope it goes away. For now, I mourn the demise of my marriage. We could have carried us further, but it wouldn't do us any good. Mourn the end of your marriage, and focus on your recovery and your children. You are in a better position than most. You are only 40, which isn't old, and wealthy. Like others have said, it does get better. You have so much to look forward to in this next chapter of your life. Be blessed. I just hope things get better, man. Thanks. But I hope this is a troll. My brother cheated and divorced. Their kids are like my kids. Even if we have our own kid, we consider them as our kids. And both his kids are closer to us than him, brother. Your case is different. Your ex made a conscious decision to conceive behind your back with your brother. That's something evil. I also support others. You might think or act it's your kid, but in reality it's not. And it's high time you think of the future deeper than that. Supporting your ex's behavior is like supporting a drug addict. Good day. I hope it was. I truly wish that. I'm not supporting her decision. She made a terrible choice, but still the mother of my kids. It's my decision to treat her with cordial respect. Also, I'm glad you aren't taking it out on your daughter. She's innocent in all of this. Please protect yourself from any legal shenanigans your brother or parents might try to pull. It is probably best to go North Carolina or at least Tennessee with them for now. Edit. Remember that it is okay to forgive someone yet be grateful they are no longer a part of your life. You're not the parent of that daughter. But that's your decision, my friend. Sounds like you're about to start an amazing journey. 40, rich and with a newfound start in life. Duck, yeah. Seems that way. Wow, just wow. It was very tough to read about your wife cheating with your brother. You've handled this greatly. You took no SHT from anyone. I'm very surprised that the divorce went through within 4 months. That's fast. Thank goodness for that. Your son sounds like a real winner. I hope he grows up just like you. Good luck to you. Fortunately, the case was put on fast track, and as I had concrete evidence of her infidelity, it didn't take long. I'm also thankful to my lawyer. He was helpful. Thanks for your good wishes. Reader history. In the end, you're a good man, knowing whoever's fault it is not the child's fault. Forgiving someone is not because they deserve it. Is BC you deserve to be at peace with yourself. Tell X that too. Take it one day at a time. All the best. Take care. Sometimes you do get the happy ending. Best of luck for future, and I am happy that your brother and wife got karma for their cheating. Move on. I don't know in which country you stay, but I am happy your brother got jailed for affair. As for your ex, she will be regretting her choices. She just lost a loyal husband like you. Now start working out, read books, focus on yourself, make yourself better. All the best, sir. I am sorry you had to go through this pain. You are a man's man though to take your ex-wife's affair child as your own to ensure she has a good life. I wished more people in the world could be as loving and caring as you. That said, rein in the alcohol usage. Jack Daniels will not solve any problems, he just dulls the pain and it will all be waiting for you, plus a hangover, in the morning. If anything, your brother is proof that alcohol creates more problems than it solves. I feel for you, brother. I need to know that even though it feels like your life is over, once you get past the betrayal, that's what hurts the most, it does get better. I married at 38 to my current wife. We have 2 children together, 12 meters F7, and even though I'm older than most dads, I have the time and freedom to enjoy my kids' childhood. Considering you've most likely got another 30 to 40 more years to go if you take care of yourself. Go out there and do what makes you happy. Take that trip to the Netherlands, go out with this new woman you've met. You deserve to be happy. Good luck to you. Thanks, bud. Best of luck to you. I wish you the best. Getting a divorce is an ending and a new beginning. Good luck to you and yours. Divorce is hard and difficult, but at least you guys parted on fairly amicable terms. 4 months and you've gone from finding out your wife was pregnant from your brother to beating him up, cutting off your mother, to divorcing your ex, getting sole custody, to dating again. I'm sorry, but that is breakneck speed and no child should be put through so much trauma at such a fast pace. I don't care what you say, your son understands. He is still a child and none of that is normal speed. Your son is absolutely not growing up in such an unhealthy environment, and you are naive to think so. Children need healthy, stable environments. Your son has seen you leave for a short period to his grandparents, get cut off, learns how awful his uncle is, and now lost his mother in his life in 4 months. And you think he's growing up and will have healthy and stable relationships after this? Can you imagine the depth of trauma this child is feeling? And he's still a child with child feelings and emotions, so he just bottles it up while dad tells him you grew up, son, completely invalidating the insane experience he just went through. You are doing your son a huge disservice here. He needs normalcy. He needs stability. And he doesn't need to be told he's done a great job of growing up by suddenly losing half his family in 4 months. Quit forcing him to bottle up his emotions and pretending this is okay. It's not okay. Give your son a chance to process this in a healthy way so he has a chance at normal relationships himself. Abuse is generational. The same unhealthy patterns that plagued us as children tend to plague our children because we don't recognize the abuse and we say stupid stuff like "I'm proud of you for growing up," when they played zero part in their life being turned upside down and aren't emotionally mature enough to process the damage, just have to live with the consequences because they have parents who manipulate them by saying "I'm proud of you for just burying your emotions and acting like this is all okay," which continues the cycle of abuse. Be a goddamn better father and quit telling us how proud you are of him and get him some help so he doesn't face the same traumatic events that you did. I have seen too many kids like yours face problems later in life because their damn parents can't open their eyes and recognize what is healthy and unhealthy to a kid. He's not an NPC in your life. His feelings are valid too. But he's too vulnerable to recognize and understand them. I'm sorry, but have you read all of my posts correctly? My wife was pregnant in 2020 and gave birth in 2021. I filed for divorce the month I found these all out. The mess was entirely created by my brother. I beat him during the end of December if I remember correctly. He filled my mom's ears so much that she believed I was abusive to my wife and my brother was saving her. About my son, I listened to him and I tried to get him into therapy. He refuses. He doesn't listen. I've been trying to hear him out and giving him space too so that he can be himself. You have not once ever mentioned getting your son therapy in a single post since you've started. All you keep saying is how mature he is. Not acknowledging a single time that a kid's entire life became uprooted in 4 months. 4 months ago, he was surrounded by all of his family in what he thought was a healthy and happy family. 4 months later half his family is gone and he's uprooted to a new home and dad is dating other women. You're not winning any sympathy from me and I intensely doubt the validity of your posts if you think this is healthy and normal for any child anywhere. Do the work that infidelity trauma causes to be healthy. Not just you, but your damn son that you're just dragging along to the next episode. I don't believe your story or I think you are not treating your son well. No child has his life 180ed in 4 months and is living a happy and healthy life. No entendí la parte de tu madre, como se supone que tu hermano edbu ex por tu supuesto abuso? Hasta donde le solo tenían sexo escondidas while la dejó embarazada, no sé cómo tu madre pudo creer que eso era detener tus abusos. La folla repetidamente hasta que el deje de abusar de ella. Wow, it has been a journey. I remember your first post and was really astounded by how your entire family knew and kept it hidden until I guess their conscience got the better of them and didn't want you to raise another man's child. I texted you and we talked for a while after that post. Your wife and brother also lied to them about you being abusive and used that to justify the affair, and your parents and sister also believed your well-known drug addict and abusive brother over you. Then you found out your wife actually tried to change your brother to become a more stable person so that she could officially leave you for him. Only when she realized he never changed and was still a piece of shit, she wanted to fix things with you. She then also proceeded to tell you about how sex with brother was better and how he could last few hours and how you basically gave them money to go out and have fun. Your brother also sent a photo of both of them in bed naked to you. Whenever you doubt your decision to divorce, just remember that she told your parents and sister that you're an abuser. She traumatized your son with her infidelity and also because your son saw them, which also made him break up with his first girlfriend. Your son may have trust issues in future relationships. Your wife did that to him. She is also mainly responsible for your relationship with your family being destroyed, though parents and sister were also at major fault for supporting them. None of this would have happened if they never even had an affair. Lastly, she brought an innocent child into this mess through her infidelity. It sucks, man, but you are in the prime of your life. You may think you're old at 40. But at 40, so many people have just started their lives and have gone on to live very fulfilling and happy lives. Start going to the gym, get into the best shape of your life, pick up some hobbies, do whatever makes you happy. Good luck. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.